Well, hello there. Welcome. My name is Harrington, and I am the owner here of Agent Mastery Coaching. And in this video, I want to talk about making new relationships, qualifying your relationships, and organizing your database. This is the lifeblood of every real estate business, making relationships. No matter if you have a brand new real estate business or if you have an old real estate business, you need to keep making relationships. I want to share with you a little story that happened early on in my career. I was probably 8 to 12 months into the business, and my mom was also a real estate agent. She got a phone call on her listing and called me and said, "Hey, I already represent the seller. Would you mind helping the buyer here, show them the house and help them buy it?" And it was $1 million listing. I think it was actually about $1.2 million, $1.3 million. And my blood just started to pump because in 2004, 2005, that was a big price point in my marketplace. Today, that is pretty common. But back then, $1 million sale was a big deal and it was going to be a big commission. So I got super excited, met the people at the house, showed them the house. They fell in love with the house. We made an offer. Didn't hear anything from the seller. I asked my mom if she'd heard anything from the seller. She hadn't heard anything. The next day, I got a phone call from my mom, and she said, "We have a problem." She said that the seller had contacted the buyer over the evening and that they had worked out an agreement on the price on the house, and they'd also worked out an agreement on our commission. And did I want to reduce my commission by 0.5 point? Well, I would never tell any of my coaching students to do this, but I wanted the money and I took the deal and I said, let's do it. So we revised our offer, we sent it back and didn't hear anything from the seller. Called my mom, she didn't hear anything from the seller. The seller went dark. Well, between the time that we'd sent it over there, somebody had stopped by and asked the seller if they could see the house. And the seller said, sure. And the seller worked out a separate deal with these people and called my mom, who was their agent at the time, said, scrap the other deal with your son. We are going with a new buyer and we have more money. Please put the deal together. Tell your son we're sorry. I was very close to getting a $1 million sale there. My buyers didn't want to go any higher in the price, and I was crushed. I was face down. I remember we had a blue couch, and I had the TV on, and I was face down on the couch, and I was crippled. And from that point on, I knew that I couldn't count on any one sale. I needed to have multiple sales going on at all times. Otherwise, the face down, remote control in the hand, popcorn, feeling sorry for myself, that situation, that could keep reoccurring. So I knew I needed to start building some relationships. Let me just say this. I wasn't the greatest knowledge base about everything real estate. I didn't know everything that there was to know about the forms. I didn't know everything that there was to know about the title report. I didn't know everything that there was to know about the rules with the multiple listing service. But I knew a lot of people and I made a lot of relationships through my career. So that held me out as one of the top agents here in the Seattle marketplace. And as time went along, I got better on those things that I wasn't great at. And I would say that today I'm probably just as proficient as anybody else in the marketplace, if not more proficient in all of the things that when I started out as a real estate agent, I wasn't good at. So those things come along with time. But I would say if you're a new agent out there, your number one thing you focus on is your relationships. And if you're an old agent and you're having to struggle in your business, I wouldn't focus on the forms. I would focus on relationships. So the number of relationships you have will be important. What if you have 0 relationships? You will die. And what if you have the most relationships? Well, it depends on the quality of your relationships. The quality of your relationships will be important as well. You need to show genuine interest in the lives of other people and build the relationships. This is why a birthday program is a hugely important part of your business. Keeping track of your relationships' birthdays really deepens relationships. They will really enjoy getting a call from you each year. And on their birthday, don't just send them a happy birthday on LinkedIn. That doesn't deepen relationships. I get 50 of those every year, and I'm just blown away that people think that that's going deep with me. And finally, qualifying your relationships will be a huge part of your time management strategy. You have to know that spending your time building relationships will be with a person who has an intention to refer you someday. If there was something that I embraced early on in my career was the qualification of my relationships. Now, my ego got in the way a couple of times with this, especially when you're dealing with people who have hundreds of millions of dollars. But for the most part, I really did a good job. Your entire life's goal in building successful relationships in a real estate referral business is to have 200 or more A+ or A relationships in your database. So an A+ relationship is someone who has referred you more than one time. When you have that, then it's checkmate. You've won. You have an amazing business. Until then, we have to keep building relationships. The house isn't built yet. In the next video, I want to go over different ways that I have found to build relationships. And then in the final video, I will go over qualifying your relationships after you make a ton of them. And I want you to take a ton of notes in the next video. This will help you craft a plan. So let's get into building relationships.